This week is Meat Week, a seasonal two-part event that has made its way to Fallout 76. Until Thursday the 8th, we all have the chance to join Graham, the friendly super mutant vendor, and his pack Brahmin, Chally the Moo, for a fun-filled cook-up. As for what this entails though, well, that's what this video is all about. I'm sure plenty of you have already been enjoying the festivities of Meat Week, but for anyone not sure what they're supposed to be doing or what the hype is, let me go over it all. Meat Week consists of two separate events, Primal Cuts and Graham's Meat Cook. The first of these is an event you'll see appearing on the map every 15 minutes or so. It doesn't have a single location, instead being potentially present in each of Appalachia's regions. Head to one of these events once you see it's active and you'll be tasked with facing off waves of prime beasts, animals which will attack you in 4 separate waves. On the 4th wave you will face either a boss or a legendary creature of significant power, so make sure you're packing heat before heading to these events. Once the final wave is destroyed, you'll receive between 3 and 5 prime meat, an item that will come in handy once Graham's Meat Cook starts. The creatures you face off against in Primal Cuts depends on the region you're at. The Ash Heap will see you facing crickets and rabrats, whilst the Cranberry Bog will see you staring down fog crawlers and maybe even a behemoth. Generally speaking, the tougher the region, the tougher the creatures you'll be facing. As you do need to defeat all of the waves in a fairly short time period, this means you may want to avoid tougher regions if you're still leveling your character up, and instead stick to places like the Forest and Toxic Valley events. A quick aside on that part, in fact, as it's currently double XP in both Adventure and Survival mode through until Monday, so it's a perfect time to level up your characters. Once you've got yourself a nice supply of prime meat, you're going to be on the lookout, as you don't want the meat to spoil and be wasted. Just a short way southwest of Vault 76, Graham has set up camp, and every hour he's hosting a cookout. At the start of the event, you have a minute to get prepped, as there's going to be a lot of tasks to be getting on with, and you'll need plenty of people there to get them all done in time. In the top right of the screen, you will be given a bar to fill up, with the words, "Help Graham throw a successful cookout" above it. Your goal is to fill up that bar as much as possible within the given time. You'll also notice 3 different meat symbols on the bar. Although I can't confirm at this time, I imagine that those indicate 3 different tiers of rewards. The further you get along the bar, the better the rewards, and, if you fill the bar entirely, you've got a chance at the best rewards possible. Now, on to the important part, how to fill up the bar. The game won't explicitly tell you everything to do, but you do get feedback whenever you do something that helps. On the left hand side of the screen you'll get a little animation of Graham cooking, letting you know your task is helping out. Tasks include playing the drums on stage, turning the meat spits, feeding Chally, and killing critters for their chunks, which can be added to the pile. For most of the tasks, you just need to look around for a prompt to interact with something, and then interact with the thing. There's honestly so much to do that you should always be able to keep yourself occupied, and, if in doubt, just get on stage and bang on the makeshift drums for a bit. The majority of tasks are very simple to get on with, and will be easy to complete for players of all levels. In fact, the only one which really requires any real effort is getting feed for Chally. To learn how to make Chally's feed, you'll need to first buy the recipe from Graham. After this, it can then be made at any cooking station with 2 boiled water, 2 carrots, 3 razor grain, 3 potatoes, and 1 wood. You only really need 1 feed per event at most, so don't worry too much about this, but it's always good to have some on hand in order to try and earn some extra prizes. Speaking of which, once the event has been completed, Graham will then award you an assortment of rewards. I personally was awarded with meat cleavers, a brand new throwing weapon, a tato salad and mutt chops, and a plan for Pepperized Tenderizer mod, which appears to be a new weapon type that, I'm assuming, can be earned from this event. Additionally, I did get a legendary piece of armour, but it was just a 1-star, so nothing but script for me. Speaking of script, I never told you what you gathered that prime meat for. As the cook-off is happening, you can head over to the meat stand which Graham is attending, and put on prime meat that you've gathered in exchange for legendary script. Each piece of meat counts for 1 legendary script, and I was only able to add 15 prime meat to the fire when I tried it, so it was only 15 script I earned, but better than nothing. And that's it for what Meat Week is. The event is only lasting 1 week, so I highly recommend you experience it for yourself at least 1 time. Personally, I know I'll be doing it multiple times each day in order to try and get as many rewards as possible. I was actually playing with Inov's Survivalist for the first one, and she managed to get the Black Chef's hat as a reward, so looks like there will be some rare apparel and weapons available if you get lucky enough. Let's just hope we're all able to get a good number of them before the week is out. As this event is going to be short-lived, I will leave the video there so all of you can jump in game and cook up some meat. I'm going to get this video edited and then try and resist the temptation to order a kebab. Speaking of which, if you want to support the channel so that I can occasionally afford takeout, or perhaps more channel-focused things such as camera or PC upgrades, then you can support me over at Patreon. There's always a link in the description and on the end card if you feel so inclined. If you're more interested in just watching the content, then make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell, otherwise YouTube won't let you know when I have a new video out. Finally, like the video and share it with anyone who wants to know what Meat Week is. As always, thanks for watching. Sarge out.